boots on the ground in Iran. More British troops are being sent to the Middle East as the Iran war continues. That's the word from the UK's Defence Secretary, John Healey, who has a message for Britain's allies in the Gulf region.
Britain stands with you and will stand with its partners. That's why we're announcing new air defence systems for Saudi Arabia, Kuwait and Bahrain, and the extension of the joint UK Typhoon squadron with Qatar.
Healey says the extra forces and air defense systems will be deployed in response to an expanding threat from Iran. Iran is threatening to strike U.S. companies in the Middle East. On Tuesday, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard accused companies including Apple, Microsoft, and Tesla of contributing to attacks that have led to the deaths of Iranian citizens. In another sign of escalating tensions in the Middle East, an American journalist has been kidnapped in Iraq. More from Nick Harper.
The journalist and U.S. passport holder has been named as Shelley Kittleson. Her designated U.S. point of contact says she was abducted in the Iraqi capital, Baghdad, and that her whereabouts and condition are unknown. Iraqi police were chasing two vehicles following the kidnapping when one of the cars crashed, with police seizing one of the alleged kidnappers. The Iraqi Ministry of Interior says efforts are ongoing to try and free the journalist. The U.S. State Department says it is closely tracking developments.
Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street in Woonsocket. This is WOON AM and FM.
WOON Woonsocket.
Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
Good morning to you. It is Coffee and Time right here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us Wednesday morning. Happy April 1st. Happy April Fool's Day. Look out for people pulling pranks on you for today. My name's Joe Callahan, and at the Coffee and Table, we'll say good morning to Melissa Smith. Hi, Melissa.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning to you. And former mayor of the town of Cumberland, Bill Murray's with us. Hello.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Joe.
Tim Draper could not be with us today, unfortunately.
He can't be golfing. He's not a golfer, I don't think.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's definitely a golfer, but whether he's a golfer.
Did you play golf with him?
I've seen him golf.
Okay.
So we're going to say he's a golfer, but I don't know if he's a golfer.
He's a hacker, as we like to say in the course.
All right. Tim does a lot of things, excuse me.
That's right. We hope Tim can be with us
next week. And
week.
we're waiting for the text from him to say, knock
it
off.
Yeah. All right. Our first segment sponsor of Coffee In today is the St. Antoine Communities out there in North Smithfield. How are things going out there, Melissa?
Oh, things
so
are
much going
busy.
on.
I
Good,
know.
good.
I will save some of my announcements for my second message, but I always love to share a little bit about all the services that we have available on our property. So for those of you that don't know a lot about us, at St. Antoine Community, we offer a full continuum of services from assisted living to short and long-term skilled care. We have two amazing secured memory care units offering 2 levels of care to those that are supporting the needs of someone with Alzheimer's or dementia at home, as well as an amazing rehab unit called Easy Street Rehab. And so, yeah, it's that time of year. We are at capacity in all levels. And I always encourage folks that are listening, if you are providing support and services for your loved one at home in the community and you need more help and direction, reach out to me. Happy to kind of walk you through your options and give you an understanding of how to get your loved one on a wait list and when the time is right. So you can reach me at 401-767-3500 or email me at msmith@santantoine.net.
All right, Melissa, we did get a message in from Mr. Draper. And he says, I think that was an accurate description of my ability to play golf. Let's just say I'm not Tiger Woods.
Let's just say to be fair to Tim, hi Tim, I only see him at our annual golf tournament playing golf, but I just think he enjoys the social atmosphere.
Okay. Not Tim. Okay. Are you kidding? You must be kidding. It's not the same person. You must be another
festiveness.
Another Tim Draper.
A different one, yes.
Must be. Not the one I know.
The other Tim Draper is friends with the real Bill Murray.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
okay.
Yes,
all right.
Yes, exactly.
The real Bill Murray. I'm the phony one.
All right, things going on, and I want to get to Bill's opinion on something in just a minute. But the first one I want to get to is when you, if you're doing illegal things while driving, you should try to stay away from the police. So we have this fine gentleman here in Woonsocket who decided to drive on the wrong side of the road at the high rate of speed right at a police cruiser.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I'm like, okay, now you're right on the radar. Christian Botello was on the wrong lane, high rate of speed, coming right at the cruiser. Now, he was able to brake at the last minute, and they did not collide. So that's a good thing. But then he just goes around the cruiser and keeps going. And he almost hit another car. And so now the police are after him, and they pull him over.
Thank
and
goodness.
he's got, according to the cops, he's got ash all over his lap, bag of marijuana in his pockets, and all sorts of other fun stuff on his person. So they did find a bag containing 4.2 ounces of marijuana in his possession. Isn't the legal just 1 ounce? I always thought that was what the legal possession mass in Rhode Island. So if you have more, then that you get arrested and you get charged with intent to distribute, and that's still illegal.
Yep.
It's just supposed to be just for you. Searching his Cadillac, police found several large bottles of the liquid THC. That's the stuff that makes you high from the marijuana. More bags, a bundle of glassine baggies. Not that that's illegal, but and a digital scale. But guess what you're doing? Guess what he's doing?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, to be in the wrong lane, going very fast, and then around the cruiser.
Yeah.
I don't think they even had to check the car. It's got to be something. If it wasn't all the drugs, it probably was drinking.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on.
And did this happen at night? No, it happened like at 3 in the afternoon on Sunday.
Boy.
What else is there to do on a Sunday?
I said, okay, so there you go. He doesn't have any prior criminal record. How about that? But the Rhode Island Traffic Tribunal does say that he's been cited for speeding 11 miles per hour or more over the limit 3 times previously. So he likes to speed a little. So, and he's been caught doing a little speeding.
Only in Woonsocket.
Well, I don't know about that. Bill.
Okay.
But he was caught here in Woonsocket. All right. We're going to get Bill's opinion on this because it's a story out of Cumberland. And when you were mayor, did you sign the initial contract for trash and recycling with Mega Disposal, or did Jeff Munner go?
No. I was the one that changed it.
To them?
We had Waste Management.
Okay.
And when that contract came up, I want to say either 2017 or 2018, it was quite a lengthy discussion we had on it because Waste Management was very good. Let me put it that way. But we were looking at the dollars, obviously, and we were also looking at bringing it forward to a, at that time it was never, they didn't have the automatic arms and stuff like that. And I remember our Public Works Director, Bob Anderson, was involved, my Chief of Staff, Judge Stansfield. We did that was a big decision because if, as they always say in politics, clear the snow, pick up the trash.
Right.
And we were trying to be, frugal about it, but we were also trying to come up to date with many of the things that we knew down the line should be the type of containers. So we made the change. We saved money, and but at that time, Bob Mega owned the company, the Mega family. They've since sold out.
Okay.
And it's had its problems, and but what was surprising to me is they went with this new contract on a no bid situation.
Did they? Okay.
They did. It's a no bid situation, and then they made changes.
And just to let you know,
go ahead.
Mayor Jeff Munner now, he entered into an agreement with Mega Disposal, extending the town's current service agreements since the contract was going to set out. It was supposed to expire at the end of June. Do I have I think it's for 5 years. But now they're going to move to, I don't know what North Smithfield does, but they're going to do recycling every other week as opposed to every week. And they say it's going to save the town close to $1 million, $885,000. Do you agree with? Let's go to.
Well, yeah, I don't. I really don't disagree if the numbers are correct, and you won't know the numbers really because you're really fishing. But if say it is correct, let me put it this way: I think you can do that in a normal. They're supposedly going to give bigger bins out for a family of. See, my wife and I don't have to worry because we can't even fill the bin that we have, right?
Well, it's just the two of you.
Yeah,
so.
it's just the two of us. But if you got a family, and I had somebody call me about this, by the way, just the other day, and said, and I said, you'll get extra bins or you'll get a bigger bin.
Yeah.
And if you do that, you'll take care of people like that, because one thing you don't want to do is to disrupt. We have a good record on recycling. Mm-hmm. And what happens is if they do that, people just throw it in the trash, and then you're going to get penalized, and so it's going to cost the town money.
Yeah.
However, what I've heard, and I have to go along with it. I know Attleboro, other places. I think Smithfield. Don't hold me to the names. I know Attleboro or North Attleboro goes to every other week.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of them that are doing that. So you know what? In my mind. And if I was sitting back in the mayor's seat, I would say, let's try it. And if it doesn't really work out and blows up, you just
switch back.
Go back and renegotiate.
Woonsocket is weekly, North Smithfield?
We are every other, and I will tell you, when I read the article about Cumberland, I laughed because that was us 2 years ago. I think it's been 2 years now that we've been on this process. The whole town was up in arms. It was the end of the world. It was like, this isn't going to work for anybody.
It's gonna be a disaster.
It probably started out extra rocky. You're probably going to experience the same thing in Cumberland.
It will.
But I can say, after all the bad settled and things calmed down a little bit, I mean, it works. The only problems that I have is as a household of 2 versus a household of 4, the households of 4, 5, 6, whatever your neighbors have in their home are going to become very friendly with you for the overflow. I mean, if we're having
can you take this?
Yeah, if we're having a party or a gathering on a weekend, we're going to have
extra.
Sure. And I'm not buying the extra bags, and that's silly. So you just, you're connecting with neighbors.
You have bags there?
So if you go over your containers capacity, you're supposed to buy bags to have on the outside.
From the town?
From the town that you purchase.
Okay.
You can also buy extra bins, but they're only going to issue you one of each.
Okay.
The bi-weekly recycling is what really upset me the most, because we were big into recycling in my household, and I've got teenagers, and the amount of water bottles we go through and gallons of water is next level. Yep. So that was what worried me, and actually it hasn't been a problem. The only time that I've had a problem actually was during this recent couple snowstorms, because we are a Monday pickup. All the storms happened to happen on a Sunday. We were getting canceled on Monday, and then you're asking me to potentially wait until the following week.
Well, you're going to have that. Joe, I don't know whether you remember 2015 when I became mayor.
Yeah.
We had 11 straight snowstorms.
Yeah.
About 90% of them were on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And
when you hit that,
and Monday morning is the valley, which is very tight in Cumberland. And I finally had to bring in extra containers to my highway department,
right,
so that people could bring their trash over. But that wasn't the fault of the trash pickup.
Right.
They couldn't get into some of the streets.
I think what ended up happening, which actually so we were initially like, oh my gosh, how are we going to get through another week, right? You just start stashing in your garage. We're fortunate to have a garage, but we also are in the woods, so we're fortunate to have lots of animals. So there's that balance of the yuck factor in the winter. But what I was happy that they decided was they did an extra recycling pickup. So we weren't due for the every other. So when they waited a whole week, we were missing our recycling week, which that was what made me stressed. But they ended up adding, they didn't skip it in between and stay on schedule. They added an extra pickup that week. It's not convenient. It's not great. It's not the best system ever. However, the street looks more organized, I have to say, versus the process before. Everybody had different size bins, different lids, different whatever. And, you get a windy day, you've got lids everywhere.
Okay.
You got cans rolling down the street. So from that standpoint, and I have the other thing is they seem to be on a more regimented schedule. Like it feels like pickup is, at my house anyways, always 8 a.m., boom, they're gone. It's not sometimes they're there.
Who's doing the
We're
pickup?
Waste Management.
Waste Management. They were always good for
yeah,
it's
been pretty good. And we have them at work too at St. Antoine, and they've been great. It's just adapting to a new system.
That's right.
As the homeowner in North Smithfield, Melissa, how long did it take you to memorize the schedule. Is this our week to put recycling out, or is it not our week to put recycling out?
So my kids would tell you that this is one of the areas that they call this child abuse. But our kids, so we have a very long, steep driveway. We're known for that by all of our friends, like the tortured driveway at the Smith house. And our kids, they bring the trash cans up, they bring them down, whatever. And so when the schedule came out, and every time I felt like the first couple weeks were like, what's this week? What's next? Like, So my youngest, I'm like, that's your job. Like, your job is to look up the schedule, print the schedule. I don't care what it is. Like, your trash duty anyways. You figure it out. So I don't even know the schedule. I don't even know, except for that.
Don't they have a website?
They do. So I just make her go on it. I mean, sometimes you have to delegate to your kids. You can't just be responsible for all the things.
I delegate that to my wife.
Well, you might get, I was just thinking, Bill, you might get calls when this goes into effect a little later on this year.
Yeah.
Is it our week? Is it not our week?
So I'm in a condo area, and I'm the president of the condo.
Yeah.
And even before this, I get a call: is this a holiday and whatnot?
Oh yeah.
I said, my wife looks at the website. I don't.
Yeah.
But my wife does, and look it up. That's usually my.
Look it up.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Between the town page, or even you know most towns have social media pages now, so that people just flock there. That's kind of what we do too, especially if the town page isn't updated timely, because those workers are also home stuck in a storm. Then someone's going to blast it on social media, and you're gonna...
Well, back in my day, this is serious. In 2015, people wouldn't look at the website.
No.
And we redid the whole thing. And you'd say, "Why aren't you looking at the website?" But now, as people have got older, the older ones now are kind of out of the thing. The young ones, they live by that, as you know, the websites and all that. So
we found that I attribute everything to COVID. But even in terms of being in charge of our community page at St. Antoine Community, I felt like there was very little foot traffic on our website, on our social media pages until COVID hit. I think people became
had nothing else to do,
craving like immediate information, not snail mail, not and we let go of a lot of print because of that. But it's sort of the advantage that came out of that is now people, I think, are really utilizing the web pages and social media for up to date information.
We'd be much better off looking at websites than the damn social media.
I agree.
All right, it's time to take our first break here on the Coffee and program. So we swing things back over to Melissa for a second message from the St. Antoine community.
I'll agree with you about social media in some ways, but in terms of what my announcement is for this second message, I hope you jump onto our Facebook page. Today is actually hashtag 401 Gives officially. It started yesterday. It's carrying into today. So if you're listening and you don't know a whole lot about what 401 Gives, the platform is actually supported through United Way, and it's to raise awareness of nonprofits in Rhode Island doing good work, helping others. So it's an awareness day for sure, but it's also just one main hub where you can go and support a nonprofit that maybe either you learn a little something about, or if there's a population you wish to support and serve. It's one day of giving. In this case, it's a day and a half. They started it a little early because of Passover. But we're participating, and we would love your support. St. Antoine Community has been doing this now since it started in COVID. So I think this is our 7th year of working with this project with 401 Gives, and we've been able to support a whole bunch of different specialty projects, and really hoping this year to maybe kickstart our latest, which is to begin a renovation project of the lobby at St. Antoine Residence. So if you're interested in supporting us, the residents that we serve, the staff that are working hard every single day, we would love your support. Jump on our social media page. The link is there, and make a donation. And thank you for your support in advance.
All right, Melissa, thanks. The Coffee and program will continue here on ON Radio.
ON Radio. Easter is a very special time at Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse. Pre-order your baked and smoked Easter hams prepared for you at Krakow. And remember, your mini hams for the Easter baskets with horseradish, butter lamb, sugar lamb, 10 kinds of babka, and 10 kinds of kielbasa, including regular double smoked with garlic, hunter with juniper berries, and the hard-to-find uncooked kielbasa. Remember Christian's famous variety of breads like Polish rye, sourdough, and Italian focaccia and ciabatta, house-made Polish spiral cheesecake, and so much more. Krakow will take no days off from now until Easter Sunday. Open every day from 9 to 6, Saturdays 8 to 5, and keep up with the latest specials on Krakow Deli's Facebook Facebook page. Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse, 855 Social Street, Woonsocket.
There's no need to leave the Blackstone Valley to find a local insurance agent. Contact Greg at Chestnut Hill Insurance Group in North Smithfield. They are an independent agent with 45 years of experience representing many companies for competitive quotes and comprehensive coverage, including auto, homeowners, and business insurance. Chestnut Hill Insurance Group is dedicated to the Northern Rhode Island community. Call Greg at 401-762-4500 and be sure to ask Greg about the upcoming ribeye giveaway. Chestnut Hill Insurance Group, 69 Eddie Dowling Highway, North Smithfield, next door to Wendy's.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
Player alert! Get ready to cross off another sponsor square on game card number 1 of the Valley Breeze ON Radio Squares game. Mark off sponsor square Coletta's Furniture, and after you've marked off the Coletta's Furniture square, if you've marked off 5 sponsor squares in a straight line, up, down, horizontal, or diagonally, phone ON Radio right away at 762-1240 to register your line and qualify for an invitation to be one of the 40 listeners who will play in our championship game on Saturday, April 25th for the grand prize of your choice of $300 cash or $500 in Rhode Island lottery tickets. The sponsor square to mark off this time is Coletta's Furniture.
WOON Woonsocket Radio.
All right, Coffee and here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us this morning. Joe Callahan here with Melissa Smith, and Bill Murray's with us as well. Dave Richards is joining us at the Coffee and Table. He's got an announcement he would like to make. Go ahead there, Dave.
Yeah, I made this announcement on my show this morning, but some people were still sleeping. So let's do it again. And it has to do with our Business of the Day contest. You've heard us say, I'm running a tape about it about twice an hour here, that we're all done calling them out. This is the segment where you take your list of all the businesses of the day you've heard throughout March, from the 2nd of March all the way down to the 31st on all the weekdays, and put the business of the day in the list and get it here to the station before next Monday during Coffee and when we make the drawing. And we, we don't care much how you get it here. You got to get it here before 8:30. Well, I said it that way. And now this morning in the email, I noticed someone emailed in their list. Now, I got to say something about this. We've never accepted email lists before because we're not in control of the email. We don't own the email. It's not a federal agency like the U.S. Postal Service is. It's not as trustworthy as mailing through the U.S. Postal Service. But then again, the way the Postal Service has been going these days. So I feel a need to make a decision on this, and this is how it's going to be. If you want to email your list for Business of the Day in, I have to see it before 8:30. Now, here's the important part. Here's your takeaway. We get over 2,400 items of spam email every day. Wow. Your entry could be lost, and I could never see it. The email, even the spam bin is emptied a dozen times a day. If you send it to us via email, it might not make it in the bucket. But if you want to take the chance, go nuts.
Okay.
And in
But
your
we're not
subject line,
responsible if you
put
didn't
this
make
is
it.
not spam.
I mean, is that
That'll
fair?
help.
Is that fair? We're not responsible if it doesn't make it in, but we'll give it
you're right.
every honest effort to see all of it. Put Business of the Day in the subject line.
There you go.
This person didn't. That just said March businesses. Put Business of the Day, Business of the Day in the subject line, and I will try to catch every one of them. You're going to send it in on an email. We want everybody to have a chance. We want people to have fun. And there'll be 3 winners next Monday, and I'll go out and buy gift certificates for them.
All right, Dave, thanks.
Okay.
Very good. All right, next subject up, and this, Melissa, you might have a lot of opinions on this because of working over there at the St. Antoine Communities, but a bill that was first introduced in the Rhode Island legislature in 2015 has been reintroduced in the House, and it's to allow terminally ill people in Rhode Island to end their suffering. It's the right to die legislation. The legislation would also protect healthcare workers from liability for providing the prescription medications needed. Supporters of the bill say terminally ill patients should not be forced to live in agony with no hope of a reprieve. 13 states, including Maine and Vermont here in New England, as well as Washington, D.C., have so-called death with dignity laws. All right. So first, over to you, Melissa. What do you? I know it's a heavy subject. It's not an easy subject, and I'm throwing it at you.
It is also
with
a
10
subject
seconds.
that probably circulates in my world daily.
I bet it does.
So we're gonna just be very clear on this. This is my personal opinion. This is not. I'm not going to tie in my work or what's discussed as best practices or what is appropriate, because everyone has their position on this. So personally, absolutely support it. I've seen far too much suffering in my career, in my personal life, and I just think that you reserve the right to make that choice if you and I think the boxes have to be checked, of course, like terminal illness, outcome, all the evidence from the doctors supporting it. It's not just voluntary suicide. We're talking about someone who is going to endure a really bad end of life process and wanting to give them the most peaceful departure.
Okay.
And to be able to make that decision with the support of family and friends on their time. I have to say, recently we've had a couple of folks pass away at St. Antoine Community, and I can say this, I can share this part, because we don't influence this decision. This is always the resident and the families who've gone on hospice. And one woman was 97 and was told by, her doctor, like, you're in, crisis CHF stage and there's nothing more we can do. And she was like,
she's like, okay,
sign me up for hospice, send me to Philip Hewlettar right now.
Wow.
I'm ready. Let's go. I want all my family, like, on her terms.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to see this person, full mind, body, making that choice for herself, knowing the pain and suffering, also knowing that the family could be sitting there for the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, maybe 3 months, because you just don't know sometimes, and saying, hey, my terms. I'm 97. Like, I'm going to sign myself on. I'm going to tell you what I want. And now, you know me, or you've gotten to know me, Joe. I'm a pretty independent person. Like, that's going to hopefully be my plan. I want to be able to say the when and the how. And I think a lot of families need that freedom of adult children who are caring for an aging parent.
Right.
When they make that decision, what a gift. What a gift, because it takes the burden off them deciding the whens and the hows, and it's on their terms, and they can do it gracefully. And so there's a whole lot of factors and boxes that come with that I would need checked, but I totally support the right to choose.
Okay, so that's you personally.
Personally.
Now, but it's tough from the St. Antoine's community's perspective, because you're associated with the diocese.
Yep.
Who are going to be against this.
I knew you were going to go there. I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
And that's why I was very careful to say.
Yeah.
But I think that the diocese is great. I mean, they recognize that not every employee or volunteer or even resident that moves to our community, that's discussed all the time. Do you have to be Catholic to move into St. You do not have to be Catholic.
Right.
So that aside, even for the staff that works there, we choose our staff not because of their personal beliefs when we hire them. We choose them because of their experience and their qualities and their professionalism. That is not allowed ever to cross over into choices regarding especially end of life for patients and residents. The nursing staff upon admission goes over DNRs and all choices and all the things. That is the resident's choice. That has nothing to do with our influence. We never weigh in based on religion.
Okay.
We keep it very separate. So, in terms of the services we provide at St. Antoine Community and our affiliation with the diocese, those lines never blur. They never cross over.
Okay.
We never
Then it should
influence.
be. It should be that way. It should be the family's decision.
Yep.
I mean, I've got to be careful. I'm almost 87, and I've said to my kids, and I'm sure my kids won't want to put up with me if I'm, in a lot of pain, but that's another story. But
What, you're bad enough when you're not in pain?
They don't put up with me now. So you're exactly right. You know the family, Joe. But I think it has to be a family thing, and nobody else. I'm a deep Catholic, always have been, and I just don't believe it's the family that's dealing with it, and the person. And I think that's a great story that she was able to, at 97, dictate what she wants. A lot of times, people don't have that ability.
Should the state
do it?
Bill, should the state have a right to die law? Like some of the states have? Like this legislation should become law?
I would be for that.
Okay.
I think I think it is a good idea to have it, because there's going to be a lot of conflicts And does that narrow? It's hard to say, but I would say, yeah, I would support it.
Okay. On the other end of the spectrum, it doesn't really affect us because it's down in Newport, but Brown University Health is considering closing the Newport Birthing Center at Newport Hospital. There's growing pressure to try to stop them from doing this, and I'm thinking, oh, how awful for the people on Aquidneck Island if this closes. The long drive to get to South County Hospital.
I mean,
Have you
Babies being born on Newport Bridge is what you're going to be hearing soon.
oh my goodness.
Have you followed the last couple of days where there's a woman that has a podcast? Don't ask me the name. A young woman who came out and talking about people should have more babies, young should have more babies, build families and everything, and it's become a big controversy the last couple of days because obviously the left has jumped into it and said that's ridiculous. I guess not that I watched The View. I wouldn't watch The View. I won't get into that on air, but you should have heard them on The View. And here's a girl that says, and our birth rates have dropped drastically, and that's up to people. I look at it, and I had 5 children, and it made me a better person because I had to work my rear end off based on having the kids. It wasn't. A lot of them are now looking at it. Well, can I do it financially? Yeah, go ahead. You'll work harder because you've got a family, you've got a support. And you said you had a couple of kids, and I'm sure other people feel the same way. The problem is the birth rates are dropping drastically.
Yeah.
And again, being involved with Blue Cross Blue Shield, one of the reasons is these costs. I was very much involved in the almost shutting of Fatima Hospital and Roger Williams. Thank God we saved it.
That would have been detrimental.
It would. You just so you look at situations like that. But then we were talking off air about the doctors that are now closing their practices.
Yeah.
So this is just another.
It's
another
exhausting.
Stake in the heart.
We've talked often about. So we have a sister organization in Newport. St. Clair's is also the other long-term care community that's affiliated with the diocese, and recruitment of staff is extremely challenging because now you're talking about finding employees that can afford to live in Newport area, and or it's not even just about affording to live there. It's not all that great in some areas of Newport, and there's a lot of economic challenges of living down there, and I just think that it would be awful. I understand the reasons why, though. Logistically, healthcare is crippled everywhere in our state. But right now, I keep going back to recruitment of staff in healthcare is a challenge statewide. And so you're kind of at the mercy of if you can't hire staff.
Yeah.
It's not even about having the customers, the patients. It's about how can we stay open if we don't have
no here,
the staff, And so I think sometimes they're forced into those situations. But I don't know. I have a lot of opinions on a lot of what was just said, but going to the birth rate kind of direction that you went in, I don't know if it's sometimes right now as much just people deciding I'm not having as many children because of finances. I often say you couldn't pay me to start over right now. Raising 2 teenagers. In today's world, the way that it is, and the state of mental health in our school systems, and what these kids are facing with social media and all the things on top of it, and the pressures of the academics and the swell of pressure that they feel that we didn't have in the 80s, or that I didn't when I was raised in the 80s and 90s. It put a lot of years on me personally, but I think about all, friends of mine, or even my friends' kids that are having kids now. I can't see them having a family of 5. I think if anything, 1, 2 kids, because that's all you can manage, even as a parent, coping wise and mentally. It would be almost impossible to think about having a large crew unless you're moving into the woods of Maine or someplace a little more remote. But in terms of our state in New England, or even just New England area being so congested and so pressurized, keeping up with the Joneses and all the things that attach, and it's all on social media and it's constantly in your face. It's too much. It's a lot.
All right, we're going to take a break on the Coffee and Program. Time for a look at the forecast, being brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Mostly cloudy skies today and 72 degrees with a 50-50 chance of light rain. Tonight, 70% chance of showers likely, mainly after 11 p.m. Patchy fog as well. Mostly cloudy all night with an overnight low of 37 degrees. Thursday's weather, cloudy skies, high near 41. A breeze from the northeast, 50-50 chance of 1/4 inch of rain Thursday. Friday, mostly cloudy skies and a high of 65. Saturday, partly sunny skies, high of 71. Easter Sunday, 60% chance of a shower, mostly cloudy, high of 64. Monday, mostly sunny with a high of 53, and on Tuesday, mostly sunny skies, high of 51 degrees.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street with the cloudy skies, we have 58 degrees. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, develops better athletes and better people through sports. Info at positivecoach.org.
Guiding and assisting a family as they honor and celebrate the life of someone they love is our mission at Menard Locouture Funeral Homes. From personalized memorial cards, video tributes, to individual requests, such as the presence of sporting gear or even a motorcycle in front of the funeral home, we are able to walk with you as you make decisions at a difficult time. As you plan a loving remembrance for one close to you, Menard Locouture Funeral Home will be there for you.
Appreciate your customers, then give them the best job possible. That's been their motto at Michaud's Auto Body since 1948. They have continually invested in the newest and best frame unibody equipment available, as well as color matching techniques. Michaud's Auto Body is a certified Class A facility where all collision repairs are 100% guaranteed. Michaud's Auto Body at 430 Privilege Street, Woonsocket, 769-1983.
It's April, so we're no longer calling out businesses of the day. That was last month. Now you have to try to win. Take your list of all the businesses of the day for the entire month of March. Make sure they're put them on a piece of paper. Spelling doesn't count, but we have to be convinced that you are writing down what you think you heard. And first prize, $100. Second prize, $75. Third prize, $50. And you get to choose which of our participating businesses of the day will be the gift certificate that you get if you're the winner. Drawings Monday morning at 8:30, so get those entries in before 8:30 Monday morning.
You can depend on us for public service, ON Radio.
This segment of Coffee In is sponsored by Navigant Credit Union.
Think you deserve better from your bank? So do we. At Navigant Credit Union, better doesn't mean bearable. It means better rates, no hidden fees, and access to your paycheck early. With our Journey Rewards checking account, not only will you earn high interest and ATM refunds nationwide, but you'll have local service that always puts you first. What are you waiting for? You deserve better. You deserve Navigant Credit Union. Visit navigantcu.org to learn more. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
We met 2 years ago. This came up.
It is Coffee In here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us this
We're
morning.
We're going to have breakfast after the show. I feel like
they
this
got a
is
lot
just
of catching up to do between Melissa Smith and Bill Murray. We thank you for joining us this morning.
Tim's not allowed to come back.
No.
Just kidding.
Other things going on around the state of Rhode Island. Let's see. The Rhode Island Supreme Court has disbarred a former Central Falls municipal judge, Joseph Molina Flynn, from practicing law. He was practicing law amid an ongoing federal investigation, which I guess you can't do.
No.
Wow. Flynn resigned in January of 2025 after FBI agents raided his law offices in downtown Providence. The feds are investigating allegations that Flynn defrauded people seeking representation for immigration-related matters. And he's also suspected of owing several years' worth of federal taxes in Massachusetts and failing to pay state and federal taxes in Rhode Island since 2011. So, wow, there's a lot going on there.
Good job by the Supreme Court.
Yeah, to disbar him right there.
He's just, I guess, he hasn't been proven guilty yet, but a lot of dishonesty is right there.
Yep.
How many people got hurt?
Right. Let's see. A New York man will be sentenced today following his conviction for murdering a man during a 2023 cookout in Providence. In October, Luis Sepulveda was found guilty of first-degree murder and other charges in the death of 44-year-old Angel Rodriguez at a Mother's Day gathering on Manton Avenue, right next to Rhode Island College. He fled after the shooting, but was arrested by Rhode Island State Police along Route 95. First-degree murder carries a mandatory life sentence in Rhode Island. So, wow.
I think that one, they're trying to get a double one, too.
What, did he kill somebody else?
I don't know. I thought I heard something on TV. I could be wrong,
Yep.
but I think it's the same guy.
All right. Well, we talked about this before the show started. It's just talking little healthcare stuff, and it's just how how crazy things are. And I think in my lifetime, I've had like 5 or 6 primary care physicians. Why? They either quit, they move, they just, I'm not dealing with your insurance anymore.
Right.
I'm like, this changing of doctors every year, it seems, is getting out of control. And Bill, you just ran up against, because
I just ran up to him. I've been going to this particular doctor. He's actually become a good friend of mine. And the last time I was there in January, he mentioned how disgusted he was. And again, being on the board of directors for Blue Cross Blue Shield, we deal with this all the time. How do we keep primary doctors here? Because it's such a disruption. Our clients, which have Blue Cross Blue Shield, constantly, where can we help? And we have helplines, by the way, for anybody listening to help find a doctor. But it's now getting enormous. And the problem is, when I talked to him the last time I saw him, he said, Bill, I'm working harder than I ever did and making less money. And he had his own practice, so he was facing all the administrative problems. So he's kind of merged with a bigger company, as I read it, because I just got the letter. And didn't surprise me because of my conversation. But it all boils down to, and we've had this, the board of directors of the Blue Cross, we've had this discussion so much because of the primary doctors. So they're either retiring, or they're moving into another practice, or they're going out of state. And out of state's the worst thing to happen, because you lose some good doctors.
You must see that over at San Antoine Communities. Doctors either retiring or
I have so
leaving,
many thoughts.
and then
many thoughts on this.
What does St. Antoine's do when they have to say, well, we got to get somebody else?
So the problem we have most often in our assisted living is snowbirds, right? So you live in Rhode Island, you raise your family, you go to Florida, and then you decide I want to come back.
Yep.
Families want to bring them back. In order to move into our assisted living, in order to move into any assisted living, it's not unique to St. Antoine's. You need a primary care physician. And our director of wellness has spoken often. She has been with St. Antoine Community for 30 years, and in the last 5 years, she has found it near impossible. You used to have like a Rolodex of 5 or 6 physicians that she could call and say, hey, I've got a person that's going to be moving in, coming up from Florida, relatively healthy person, great medical history from the doctor. Like, can you just pick up this person and carry on? And it's just not happening anymore. And so now we're in a pickle where we can't move people in until they have a doctor. So then you're at the mercy of,
It's a catch-22 sometimes.
It's a catch-22. So that's assisted living land. In terms of long-term skilled, we're fortunate that we have, physicians that are overseeing the care of those that are admitted into our nursing home level. And we have also a practice that covers our rehab while they're there as well. And I have found a lot of people, and this is what's so sad, I've always believed in seniors having the choice to live in the community, support them in the community, or when the time comes, choose long-term care. But we're finding more and more people that come into rehab with the intention of rehabbing and going home opt to stay, because they know if they stay and move into our nursing home level, they're going to get picked up by our physician and have some support from someone monitoring their health, where back in the community, their doctor's practice might have closed up. They haven't been seen in 3 years. So the more perfect scenario, which is awful, and I don't know how often you talk about this on your level of the board at Blue Cross Blue Shield, but you're better off going to the hospital, getting admitted, and getting placed into long-term care. So you have more continuum support.
We don't talk about that because of the fact that...
We don't talk about that.
No, the reason we don't... I mean, we talk in broad terms, but if you have a problem... we're overloading these hospitals, by the way.
Absolutely.
And that's the other serious problem is that people get in. I've heard stories of people waiting 5 hours in the hall.
Awful.
And, I knew a situation, somebody had called me that their daughter, probably 4 or 5 years old, cut their forehead, went down to Rhode Island Hospital, and they waited with a towel on their head for like 6 hours, 5 hours. And I'm not exaggerating.
No.
And they kept coming to them and saying, we apologize, but it's out of their hands. They're just loaded. People are going in there with common colds and tying them up.
It's really sad. I mean, you are not aware of this, Joe's aware of this, a couple of years ago I had a very severe accident. And I think, working in healthcare, you're just... Yep. You're more aware than the average folk as far as sensitivity and compassion to what the staff at a hospital is going through. So you get the ambulance ride, you enter the ER, they triage you, and then you're sitting there.
Right.
And I was weighing out for the better part of 3-4 hours, do I need to be sitting here, right? Mm-hmm. But they finally called my name. I get into my room, and now I'm sitting there for another 2 hours. And my husband's like, it's 9:00 at night.
Yeah.
You're in shock. You're this, you're that, but you've been relatively screened. You seem to be okay. I want to take you home. I want to get you home. The kids miss you, like all the things. To go through signing myself out was like an hour-long process. Like they were trying to convince me to stay. And all I could say to them was, I sat in your waiting room and I looked at people with blood on their forehead. Like I'm talking about a leg injury. Yeah. Like I'm going to see my physician in the morning. I'm lucky to have a physician. I've gotten my scans. You're telling me this. You're telling me that. I have an idea what it is. I'm going to take all that information and see him in the morning.
Go to them.
Do you know the liability if you leave? And then I'm signing all these things. I did it. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, when you're sitting there in the waiting room of a hospital, an ER area, and you're seeing people that are in much greater need than you, you start to make those choices. And I have aging parents, and every time my dad's he's got issues with his heart, I'm asking him 50 million questions before we make the decision to go in, because I know we're going to be sitting there. And that's the saddest thing in the world, is you don't know what to do. Now, I'll fast forward to my last example. My husband is well, he's not listening, so I'm going to say this. I call it a man baby sometimes, because he gets, he's got a man flu and the world is ending. He's got a bad cold.
Wait a minute.
Now
I'm listening. Wait a minute, Joe.
But we've gotten to the point where my physician is aging like your physician, and he's tired and he runs his own practice. And I know if I go to see him, I'm stuck in that waiting room for 2-3 hours sometimes before I get seen.
Yep.
So my husband knows the same thing. Well, we've discovered this little walk-in clinic over the border in Massachusetts, and my husband calls it the Disney World of all walk-in clinics, because it's heavily staffed. They know how to triage. It's organized. Everything is state of the art, and you are in and out in 10 minutes.
No kidding.
And he is going to get checked for flu, COVID, strep, whatever. He's going to walk out of there with a script and steroid. It cuts the BS out of the situation. And I just feel like, I think that's what we need to be looking at with forward-thinking healthcare, is people that are professionals don't have time to sit and wait, or they know the waiting room in these places. So how can we strike a balance? Now, I used to work in the community for Memorial Hospital before they closed, and I was
involved in that closing. I was mayor at the time.
Okay, so and it was devastating. And I was supporting community services for seniors we were under the umbrella of Memorial, and so we had to shift to Care New England.
Right.
And I was one of the masses of people saying, do not close this hospital.
If
you close this hospital, it's going to create a...
Well, three, and it did. 3 mayors, Grebian, Diosra, and myself, because of our communities, fought like hell. And I tell you, the Rhode Island Health Department was no help at all.
I know.
And I remember the Dr. Scott who ran it.
Yep.
And we went into many, many meetings, and she just ignored us.
Wow.
And now look what the damage it did. It cost the town of Cumberland a lot of money, because we now had to move our rescues to other hospitals that were backed up, blah, blah, blah. That's why we fought so hard on
that's where I think it's all started.
Exactly.
I think that if not that my professional experience
yours
goes much
right.
deeper than mine,
you're absolutely
but
right.
I feel like if we could just go back and identify that that's where these problems started, and so I think that was a very long-winded explanation, Joe, but we're tying in your Newport situation. We're tying it. I mean, it all kind of is all part of the same crisis that's going on in our state right now.
All right, break time once again here on the Coffee and program. This segment of Coffee and has been sponsored by Navigant Credit Union.
When it comes to your financial future, you deserve advice that starts with you. At NCU Investment Solutions, a subsidiary of Navigant Credit Union, we take the time to understand your goals, then build a personalized plan designed to help you reach them. From financial planning and investment management to tax and estate strategies, our experienced advisors are with you every step of the way. Let's make a plan together. Visit ncuinvestments.com or call 401-233-4337 to connect with an advisor today.
ON Radio.
Hi, this is Melissa, and here's what's happening in the Valley. Enjoy karaoke at Club Lafayette, hosted by DJ Pauly of Soundstream Entertainment, this Friday and every Friday from 8:30 to 11:30 p.m. at Club Lafayette, 289 Aylesworth Ave in Woonsocket. This event is open to the public. Do you have an event you'd like to share? Email us at events@woonsocketradio.com.
Player alert! Get ready to cross off another sponsor square on game card number 1 of the Valley Breeze ON Radio Squares game. Cross off sponsor square Eagle Roofing and Handyman Services. And after you mark off the Eagle Roofing and Handyman Services square, if you have marked off 5 sponsor squares in a straight line up, down, horizontally, or diagonally, what you do next is you call ON Radio right away at 762-1240 to register your line and qualify for an invitation to be one of the 40 listeners who are going to play in our championship game on Saturday, April 25th for the grand prize of your choice of $300 cash or $500 in Rhode Island lottery tickets. The sponsor square to mark off this time is Eagle Roofing and Handyman Services.
We are local and live at 99.5 FM.
It is Coffee Ann here on ON Radio. We thank you for joining us this morning. Joe Callan's here, along with Melissa Smith, and Bill Murray's here as well. Well, really cool because the Artemis 2 mission to the moon is launching tonight.
Mm-hmm. I can't hardly wait.
It's been 50 years.
So cool.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That now they're not going to land. They're just going to go up and take a look and just swing around and come on back.
Just say hello.
It's like
a drive-through. Drive-through trip to the moon.
And
Sunday drive.
But it's a 10-day event. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, we can see the moon, but it's really not. It's not very close. But it's a test, and it's next year. I think it's 2027 that they're going to land people on the moon again.
Is there 4 of them going up?
I think there's 4
Yeah.
astronauts going up and take a look around. But one of the other good things about this is that the massive economic impact of Central Florida is taking place. A consulting firm estimates that the launch from Kennedy Space Center could bring in 400,000 visitors to the Space Coast with an economic impact of $160 million.
Wow.
So, good for them. A tourism official says hotels in the region are fully booked, so you can watch it. And parking passes near the launch site are already sold out. So this is a big deal for them down there. But I think it's pretty cool, that we're finally going back to the moon. And then next year, land on the moon. And then in a few years, Mars.
The preparation, I did see something on television the other night. They were talking about the preparation for them to do this.
Yeah.
Is enormous.
Oh,
it's absolutely enormous.
Yeah. So, all right. Easter is this weekend, and I didn't realize this. Easter is becoming very close to like Halloween, and the amount of money that people spend on Easter. The National Retail Federation says Americans are expected to spend $24.9 billion on Easter.
Oh.
Now, the bulk of the money will be spent on candy, food, gifts,
flowers.
Yes, decorations.
They must have interviewed my wife, by the way.
You gotta get that new Easter outfit. So there's clothing,
and if you have girls, it's the tights, the shoes,
the hats,
the headbands, the bows,
and cards. So when you break it all down, it comes to nearly $200 per person in the United States spending money just because it's Easter.
Amazing.
I'm like, wow. I didn't
feel
realize
like
it was so high.
I've smartened up over the last few years. I mean, I think when the kids are I've actually always been smart about my Easter baskets, tried to do practical stuff, right? Because spring usually means like new sports season. So what do your kids need?
Oh, okay.
Make your basket tailored towards lacrosse balls, softballs, whatever it is. And now I've entered a new kind of space in life with one in college and one going to be driving soon. So baskets for me now are definitely all practical. Like it's just it's all the essentials. And if you have girls, it's products. It's skincare and perfume and all the things. But it's like, you know what they like. You're not even going to try something new. You just get refills. So the basket is just refills of what they use every day, essentially. But I can see how it gets out of hand very quickly. I think that's why I go practical.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if they need it anyways, I'm just going to
I think it's much better than some of them just pour on the candy. And, of course, the kids aren't going to refuse it.
No, well, no.
And they're on a sugar high for about 2 weeks with that.
Exactly.
And it's really a waste of money.
And then you end up just throwing it away on them. Because then you see how hyper they are.
Yeah.
And you're like, you're not eating any more of this.
No, that's it.
And my daughter, who's also in college, but 20 years old, still expects an Easter basket from her mom and dad. I said, when does this end?
No, when she's 30, maybe at 30.
Well, I have a few coworkers that do. This is an idea for you, if you've got everybody coming over, I don't know, but they do adult Easter egg hunts for their adult children. So they got the grandkids taken care of, and then they do a beer bottles in the yard and wine. And it cracks me up, and I'm like, I don't know if I'll do that, but maybe I will someday.
Maybe in the future.
They're not coming over with the meeting we have now. We're invited.
Is it better that way? I kind of look forward to the days of being a guest at my children's house.
My wife closed everything off and said, "We'll go to you." We're not.
Yeah, I think so.
And the kids actually like it because, our youngest grandchild of 12 now he's 14 or 15, or I guess turning 15. Yeah. So he's the youngest. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of changing in our life now. But they still expect, They do. My wife always buys for at least the ones here. We get them spread out. But she always buys something for the local, grandkids. Yeah. And especially with the girls, she'll get
How do you not?
Something cute. Yeah.
It's funny. I've dropped off my nephews now. I just buy for my nieces. They're all old. My youngest is 15,
they'll appreciate
so she's
more.
the youngest of all of them.
The boys
the boys don't care.
Yeah,
but the girls, I still enjoy getting a little something for my nieces. Right. But you hang on. It's you, and I'm sure that's what's happening for your wife, because you're just hanging on, because it'll all change someday.
Absolutely.
All right. There's a bill that's passed in the Missouri General Assembly. Nice of them to join the 20th century here. The Missouri General Assembly is passing a bill. It will grant pregnant women the right to divorce. The law was...
You couldn't divorce?
Well, it's a decades-old Missouri law. A pregnant woman can file for divorce, but a judge had the right to refuse to finalize the process only because the woman was pregnant. Like, wow.
Oh, I never heard that.
Things have changed.
Yeah.
A Missouri House bill allows for the dissolution of marriage while the woman is pregnant, and it will now go to Governor Michael Kehoe, who will sign this into law. And you don't have to worry about getting the judge's A-OK on this. I'm like, wow.
It's actually kind of funny.
Well, they were probably very serious about it way back, let's say in the 40s, when we had to put this through, and they pregnant women can't be divorced. That's terrible for the child. So
that's right.
But now, that's been taken care of. Yeah. So there you go. Then again, another bizarre story, also out of Missouri. Police in a town called Afton, they're releasing more details. There was a fake child abduction report. An Amber Alert was issued on Monday after a woman reported her 5-year-old daughter was abducted when someone stole her SUV that was parked outside a store with the girl that was inside the car at the time. Mm-hmm. Well, the police investigate. They later determined there was no child, saying the woman couldn't provide pictures of the youngster, and officers found no signs of a child even living at her home. She made the whole thing up.
What reason?
Well, they haven't gotten to that part. They say she may have made the abduction claim to garner a stronger police response in the area, but they're still unclear of the exact motive. Mm-hmm. The unidentified woman and her roommate are in custody, with charges against them are pending. Bizarre, huh?
Bizarre.
What?
Can't make this stuff up.
Yeah, no, you can't. And why? I don't understand it.
We want more police in this area, and so if we do this fake child abduction, we'll have a lot of cops here.
Yeah.
And at least it'll cut down on the crime, at least for a few hours.
It's not surprising the way this world is going.
It's a terrible idea, but
I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah. All right. So that's what's going on there in Missouri. Let's see. It's a full moon tonight on April Fool's Day.
I would have guessed it was the last couple of nights.
Yeah. Well, here's the real full moon. I guess it'll make it easier for the Artemis 2 to find the moon if it's full, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I heard there was April 1st. I went to get a coffee on the way here, and a guy's walking across the Dunkin' Donuts floor, and the girl goes, "Oh, you just dropped some money." The guy goes like this, turns around, and she goes, "April Fool's."
Oh, that's a good one.
So I was waiting for my coffee, and she finally, and I know the woman, and finally she hands me the coffee. I said, "Where's my 5 other coffees?" And she's looking at me, April Fool's.
Oh, that's a good one, Bill.
That was a good one.
I wouldn't even have thought of April Fool's.
Yeah.
No, wouldn't even have thought of it.
With the full moon tonight, it's also it's called a pink moon.
Oh,
did you know that? Yeah, no. Because this full moon coincides with the spring blooming of pink wildflowers.
Wow.
So they call it a pink moon.
I love that.
The full moon also coincides with the scheduled launch of the Artemis 2, which will take the 4 astronauts on 2 trips around the Earth before orbiting the moon. Oh, I didn't know they were circling the Earth. First, I guess, I don't know.
Oh, is that right?
They're
Warm up the engine?
I don't know why they're doing it. So, okay.
Dry run.
Dry run, yeah.
It will be the first.
Like a mom.
It will be the first crewed mission to the moon since 1972. The 2-hour launch window begins tonight at 6:24.
72. It's been that long?
Last time we went to the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Long time.
Your research is excellent.
Isn't it excellent?
I'm telling you, Joe.
You know what else I heard about the Artemis 2? Is that when they get up into space, they're going to have to build their own toilet facilities. So for some reason, it can't be put together while the launch is going on.
Oh.
So there's the 4 of them. Okay, let's put the pipes together and like that. But I also heard, because it's a very these capsules are not very big.
No.
So it's about the size of a small SUV. The one of the astronauts is very tall, like 6'4".
Wow.
So when you're building the toilet facilities, he cannot fit inside. He won't be able to fit inside.
So he has to go outdoors?
He's going to step outside.
That's a good one.
They're actually bringing a privacy screen just for him, so he can stretch his legs like so.
Oh my god!
I said, that is too funny.
All right, thanks for
so
the
that's
visual.
That's how you get to know your other astronauts
now don't you
real
feel
well.
better about
I have a
this
family of Dutchmen who are all like 6'3" to 6'7",
Well,
8",
they would
and I'm
have
trying
the
to
same-
picture all of
they
my
would have the
dad and
same
his
issue.
brothers and all these long-legged humans in space to begin with, but
yeah.
Well,
What an image.
On a final
Oh,
note,
my gosh.
Tiger Woods did plead not guilty to his latest rollover DUI
Why not?
thing.
Yeah.
But he also says, quote, he is stepping away for a period of time, unquote, to seek treatment and focus on his health following last Friday's rollover crash in Florida. He released a statement on his X account saying he was committed to taking the time needed to return in a healthier, stronger, and more focused place, both personally and professionally.
I don't think you'll ever see him back the way.
I don't either.
I mean, he's a mess. If you saw the pictures on
he
television,
does not look good.
I was a big fan. I mean, he's done so
Well,
much
he's so
for the
good.
golfing world.
Yeah.
And it's just a shame to see it. And again, I with all his money,
Yep.
get a driver.
Get a driver.
If you want
That's
to
what we
drink
brought up
and
the
you
other
want
day. Why don't you have a driver?
Just get a driver.
Yeah.
You know. And,
Yeah.
But this guy, he's like he hasn't killed somebody or
he's not
somebody
dead.
else himself.
A lot of people were
twice.
saying that on the news is how is he still driving? And is he still driving only because he's been obviously caught so many times? How does he even have a license?
Serious.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
the last accident he had.
Well, that was in
He almost
California.
got killed.
Yeah, so
And,
maybe he doesn't
I mean,
have a California license anymore, and he just has a Florida license.
Yeah.
It's just a shame.
You don't want to see it happen, but it is definitely.
All right, that'll wrap it up for the show for today. Thank you very much for listening in. It's always appreciated. Melissa Smith, thanks for coming on in.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and Bill Murray.
Thanks for
filling
having
in.
me. It's always a pleasure.
Glad you could be here.
Thanks for coming, Bill.
Okay. Great talking.
All right, this is Joe Callahan. Have a great day, everyone, and stay tuned for Gary Smith and the crew. Do you remember is coming up after the 9 o'clock news here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.